Welcome to the Newark Regional Business Partnerships Engage and Exchange podcast. Join us for business insights and meaningful conversations with NRBP's member organizations. Thank you to our podcast host sponsor, the Martin Tuchman School of Management at NJIT. Additional support for NRBP's Engage and Exchange podcast is provided by PSEG in LISC New Jersey. Hello, I'm Ferlanda Fox-Nixon, President and CEO of the Newark Regional Business Partnership. We are the premier chamber of commerce for the greater Newark region. Our guest today is Isaiah Little, Creative Director, founder of GalleryRetail. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today. We always like to start by learning a little bit about our guest. So if you could just tell us about Isaiah.
For sure. Thank you for having me.
Pleasure.
Isaiah Little. I answer to both. Okay. I am a creative, a lifelong Newarker, born and raised between Newark and East Orange. Entrepreneur my entire life. So, kind of naturally evolved from selling origami in the third grade to going to Temple for Entrepreneurship, and essentially that clothing company that I started in undergrad became GalleryRetail, which is my brand and full-line creative service company and destination marketing company that I work on now.
So what are the various services that you provide?
Oh, man. We're a full-line creative service company, so just about, whatever you can come up with, we can, facilitate. Whether it's Isaiah doing that work or sourcing an awesome team to, do that for you. Full experiences, film productions, producing podcasts, as well as, I think what we've kind of leaned into is hyper-local marketing and telling authentic stories.
Okay, very good. So digital marketing, social media.
Yes, digital marketing, social media, community outreach efforts or campaigns, which has been kind of thing where we kind of tripped into. Didn't necessarily see that as a vertical of ours, but definitely a natural sort of progression. Community benefits agreements, community workshops, facilitation, the gambit.
So how did you fall into this line of business?
Oh, man. Happenstance. The first adult job that I had out of school was with the city of Newark. I was actually consulting with the Office of Information Technology through my business, GalleryRetail. And, opportunity just begets opportunity. When you're good to okay, you tend to get more recommendations or, referrals. So that led me to actually working with Newark Celebration 350, Newark's 350th, celebration back in 2016. Which actually led to another opportunity, me working with the Visitors Bureau for a couple of years as a consultant. They didn't want me to leave the office, so I was working there full time for a while and then moved back to being a consultant for the last couple of years with them. So natural progression of good troubles, I say.
What's your vision for your business?
Oh, man. I think the vision, and I actually kind of share this with a couple of comrades of mine, is to grow a big business that is able to impact Newark or North Jersey in a positive way. I think that there's a ton of potential just in marketing New Jersey a lot better. It's a lot of fun marketing and working in digital marketing / tourism. So I would love to grow a big business that is able to help not only with the storytelling, the marketing, making Newark, Jersey a little sexier. I think there's also a ton of potential as far as jobs, as far as, the positive impact on small businesses to come from, growing GalleryRetail to really be sort of like an anchor tourism institution.
And when you talk about support for your business, do you have employees? Are you using independent consultants? And what's the size of your team?
Oh, man. I say it's elastic. It definitely grows. I think regularly we have, comrades who, whether it be talent or other service providers, we definitely have sort of like a a short list of folks that we work with regularly. Currently, we don't have any full-time employees, but we definitely work with folks on a freelance contracting basis. Some of our anchor efforts, Members Only Happy Hour, which is every Wednesday, Newark First Fridays, which is on the first Friday of every month. We've definitely worked with creatives and volunteers. We will not exist without volunteers. But yeah, we definitely have regular folks that we work with and looking to grow to bring on more part-time and full-time folks for sure.
Can you talk to us about a project that was your most successful one where you pretty much used every line of service that you offer?
Yeah, I would say, I want to say the Welcome to Newark video. While I was with Newark happening at the time, it was sort of the first effort that I worked with Palette Group, which is an awesome production company that I've actually worked with on 5 projects with. So one with the Visitor Bureau and the next 4 with Newark Public Schools. And I think that small, group of projects is a great example of telling authentic stories, how, really leaning into, the esoteric, ness of where we're from is super impactful for these other goals. When they initially booked us, Newark Public Schools, that is, their goal was address the hiring crisis, right? That teachers or school systems were seeing all around the country. They were not only able to reach and exceed those goals, they actually exceeded their enrollment goals as well. So Newark Public Schools is still using, those assets. We're working on another project with them currently, hopefully again next year. And similarly, the Welcome to Newark video started maybe around 2019, delivered around 2020, give or take, and it's still being used as probably one of the premier assets to kind of speak to Newark tourism. So yeah, I was able to work with the mayor, awesome talent, include a lot of New Jersey sounds. So I think that was definitely one of those that I think is a success, but it keeps giving as well.
And what are the challenges that you face with your business?
I think that one of the biggest ones is, keeping, projects in the queue, keeping those invoices and accounts payables going. So yeah, with this economy, with, everyone sort of tightening the belt, so to speak, I think keeping, not just projects going, inspiring ones is also a challenge because all money isn't good money. But yeah, there's definitely, the ever concern as an entrepreneur, as a founder, to kind of keep the lights on, so to speak. And then in small, large, cities like Newark or communities like Newark or North Jersey, very often competition is fierce. So you got to continue to, sharpen, invest in your brand and your business so that you are able to differentiate and keep working.
So your ideal client?
My ideal client is one that shares our values, right? We are a for-profit. Very often when you're in a creative space, folks want you to be a nonprofit so they can write things off. But we are intentional about being for-profit. Definitely one of our drivers, right? Being able to support artists and small businesses grow their businesses. It's definitely one of our, pillars. So I'd say one of our I'm gonna say check boxes, right, for clients is, do you share our values? Are you in some way, utilizing this effort for propaganda? That's almost like a no-no for us. So I would say not just an interesting or fun product or service, but some that actually, reflects the mission that you speak. Okay.
And I know you like to use the term prosocial.
Yes.
Do you have a definition? What's your definition of that term?
I feel like an enterprise is just a big business, right? I feel like a social enterprise is one that kind of connects, those different levels of humanness, right, or people to each other, and doing that in a way that's not exploitative, that puts people at the center of, whatever we're talking about. And I think that Newark GalleryRetail has benefited tremendously from that, putting people at the forefront of what we do. Has been able to allow us to build our audience, test things in a very, authentic, genuine way. and sort of become one way or another I won't say thought leader, but definitely a burgeoning institution, independent at that.
Okay. Because I actually thought when you were going to describe your ideal client, I thought you were going to say, oh, you know what? The Newark Regional Business Partnership is the ideal client for me.
Well, that was a no-brainer. That was a no-brainer. I feel like that question was coming as in why NRBP, but I think there.
But can you tell
Please.
the audience what it is that you do for us? Because we
man,
do
y'all love
retain
me.
your services.
Y'all love me, and I love y'all. NRBP has been great for Gallery Retail, not only on the information side, but as a client. Not only do you all, speak a mission, you live that mission, right? From not just booking Gallery Retail for producing this podcast, for DJing, not all but many of the NRBP experiences and events, which are awesome, right? Able to contribute to the experience while absorbing all the information at the same time. So that's been tremendous. But yeah, I think NRBP is definitely one of those not just clients, but institutions that are really paying it forward. And I would say doing the work in the right ways, right? So yeah, I think NRBP is definitely one of those, and it should be a aha or duh for those that don't already know.
And I do think we're fortunate at NRBP. Actually, I would say all of our members have a passion for Newark. And so you having been born and raised, for the most part, in Newark your entire life, what is it that you love about Newark?
Oh, man. I think one thing for me, and I try to be, give Newark a little bit of grace, is that it's a small, large city. I think small, large cities are always fun because you're able to feel your impact. I think some small, large cities have that same, approachability to it, accessibility to it. But I think Newark adds that with a authenticity, genuineness that you can't buy. And we typically have energetic campaign seasons, so I think you really see, how intimate, the issues are. But I think, when you're able to work in any space, feel and connect and be one person removed from another good change maker, it's super inspiring. Where you can move to LA or Mexico City and not necessarily feel your impact unless you're
That's true.
in one specific business or nonprofit. I think in Newark, your appreciation is reciprocated in very different ways.
And I know you like to ask people, like, what's your favorite restaurant or coffee shop? So I'm going to ask you that question too. Where do you like to go and eat in Newark?
Oh man. Funny enough, I like to eat at friends' homes.
Okay.
I like to eat at friends' homes. I think that there are some local restaurants that are amazing. There's some local groceries that are, undervalued. So I definitely like to host. I like to gather. And then Burke's Tavern is a favorite of mine. I think you might have heard the Yard numerous times on this call. It marries creative tastes and cuisine with authentic storytelling as well. You're coming in there and you might feel like you're in your cousin's living room, and you might hear some things that you might actually play in the car. So the Yard, Burke's Tavern is a family-owned restaurant, and then if I was to throw in sort of like Dickie D's, you gotta try Italian Italian hot dog if you're in Newark.
In our closing 30 seconds, what would you like for people to remember most about Gallery Retail?
I think I would like folks to remember that Gallery Retail is genuinely a reflection of Isaiah. And Isaiah is the creative uncle. I feel like Gallery Retail is that in business, right? We are able to be that liaison between, the creatives and the institutions and nonprofits to kind of address both of their needs, right? Creating, opportunities and be a platform for those artists and small businesses, as well as connecting to, the institutions and nonprofits for the services that they need. So I think we're kind of a liaison, and similar to an uncle or aunt, we're able to cut through and give you sort of like a real and authentic perspective, and hopefully some resources that can help you, grow and be better.
So I forgot to ask you about your prop. Talk to us about the cap.
So we're working on merch. Overdue. GalleryRetail actually started from a clothing company that I started in college, so it's kind of like a full circle moment. And essentially, we are, those creatives, right, who work during the day and work on that passion project by night. So we're rolling out, a series of product that reflects those personas and those clients, those folks who are burning the midnight oil for their passions or their, number one love, while, paying the bills with the day job.
Love it. Well, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, as always.
Thank you for joining us today. As always, I'd like to leave you with a quote. Success is to be measured not so much by the position that one has reached in life as by the obstacles which he has overcome. By Booker T. Washington, founding principal of the Tuskegee Institute in Alabama. Thank you. Thank you for listening to NRBP's Engage and Exchange podcast. Tune in next time for more NRBP member organization insights. For more information about our organization, visit www.newarkrbp.org. Thank you again to our podcast host sponsor, the Martin Tuchman School of Management at NJIT. Additional support for NRBP's Engage and Exchange podcast is provided by PSEG and LISC New Jersey.